In this breaking story, Pete Hegseth's classified meeting just backfired as insiders tell all. That's right, more and more chaos is brewing behind closed doors at the White House. How's it going, everybody? Hunter Avalone here with Occupy Democrats. Welcome back to another video. Now, honestly, it's been very interesting watching Pete Hegseth flop around and flounder. This, of course, is what happens when you're a former Fox News host and then suddenly you get promoted to manage the Pentagon. It sounds like something that should be a headline from The Onion. And then, of course, you can't forget like a nasty, moldy hot fudge sundae, all the various abuse allegations sprinkled on top. I'm just taken aback at how unbelievably stupid Pete Hegseth is, or maybe I should just be calling him Pete Kegsbreath. Because honestly, the guy reads like a desperate frat bro trying to fit in. Just like, yo, we're gonna blow up some narco terrorists, dude. Like, okay, I get it and all. You know, you get to play war with your new Operation Kill Everybody or whatever. But still, this is serious and this is no longer playtime. This is now real life. Real lives are being lost, all at the hands of Pete Hegseth. But it gets even worse as insiders started revealing more and more information about really what happened today in a top secret meeting. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and Senator Mark Kelly got into a fiery argument Tuesday over the Trump administration's lethal boat strikes off the coast of Venezuela. Mark Kelly was sitting at the front row of this classified meeting, and he asked Pete Hegseth a question. And then Hegseth, rather than answering, it appears he went on some kind of a tangent about the video Mark Kelly made earlier about refusing to follow illegal orders. Kelly interrupted Hegseth as Hegseth was going after him for the video, noting his question had nothing to do with that. An attorney representing Kelly also fired off a warning letter saying the Arizona Democrat is prepared to take whatever legal action is necessary to stop what they regard as an illegal and politically motivated investigation into him. So Pete Hegseth is so pathetic, he can't even keep it together during a classified meeting. He just can't help himself but go on some pathetic tangent. And like a bad infomercial, but wait, there's more. That's right, a top senator is also explaining what he saw in the meeting and just how damaging Pete Hegseth's behavior is. Take a look.
So I just came from this classified briefing, the first that I have received, that the full Senate has received on the military strikes in the Caribbean and in the Eastern Pacific. Well, I obviously can't tell you any classified information I learned. I can tell you this, that the administration had no legal justification for these strikes and had no national security justification for these strikes. Let me just get to the question of the national security justification. What they did admit is that there's no fentanyl coming to the United States from Venezuela. Venezuela is mainly exporting cocaine, but almost all of the cocaine that is coming out of Venezuela into the Caribbean isn't going to the United States, it's going to Europe. And so we are spending billions of your taxpayer dollars to wage a war in the Caribbean to stop cocaine from going from Venezuela to Europe. That is a massive waste of national security resources and of your taxpayer dollars. What we also learned is that there's no legal justification for what is happening right now in the Caribbean and in the Eastern Pacific. The president in this briefing, his Secretary of Defense and Secretary of State, said that the justification legally is that these cartels are designated by the president as terrorist organizations. Okay, the president does have the ability to designate certain groups as terrorist organizations, but that does not give him the ability or the authorization to carry out military strikes. A designated terrorist organization allows the president to impose sanctions on those organizations and those individuals or deny passports to the leaders of those organizations. Only Congress, only the American public can authorize war, and there is just no question that these are acts of war that the U.S. military is undertaking. So that's the bottom line, is that this briefing, which by the way was only about 45 minutes long, the shortest classified briefing that I have ever been a part of, they scurried out of there before they could actually get asked any tough questions. The bottom line is that this briefing made it clear that there is no legal justification for what is happening in the Caribbean, and there is absolutely no national security justification.
Thanks so much for watching. Please click that like button and subscribe to Occupy Democrats so that you can stay informed and help us stop Donald Trump.